On this photo, you see Adolf Hitler. He is seated on the right. For Hitler, the experience of the Great War of 1914 has been of crucial importance. Hitler had volunteered at the age of 25 by enlisting in a Bavarian regiment. He became a runner. After a first engagement against the British near Ypres, 2,500 of the 3,000 men in Hitler's regiment were killed, wounded, or missing. Hitler himself escaped without a scratch. On the 7th of October 1916, Hitler was wounded in the leg by a shell fragment during the Battle of the Somme. He was hospitalized in Germany. To get away from what he called the apathetic civilians, Hitler asked to go back to the front and was sent back in March 1917. In August 1918, he received the Iron Cross First Class, a rarity for foot soldiers. In October, he was temporarily blinded by a gas attack near Ypres. Hitler fought in a war in which the entire front, running from the Swiss border to the Belgian coast, had been entrenched. He had experienced the deadlock of trench warfare. Hitler had been an eyewitness of the modern forms of military technology which were introduced to break through the impasse of trench war towards the end of the war. These technical innovations were tanks, airplanes, and the use of poison gas. In 1933, Hitler became the Führer of Nazi Germany and embodied a movement which aspired total control on a global scale. Germany built a formidable air force. The Germans produced the best tanks in the world. Being subjected to poison gas himself, he was to use gas in the extermination of millions of what he called the most threatening enemies of the Aryan race, the Jews. Although he became one of the major players on the theater of operations during World War II, the frame of reference obtained during World War I often influenced his strategic and tactical decisions. Shortly after the invasion of the West, Hitler started to build his Fortress Europe. The notion of the trenches inspired the construction of his Atlantic Wall, which ran all the way from the north of Norway to Biarritz on the Spanish border. A special organization, Totorganisation, built the concrete works. From naval shore batteries to casemates, from bunkers to simple observation posts. In total, more than 800 miles long. Towards the end of 1943, the Nazis began to anticipate an invasion in the West. Hitler sent Field Marshal Rommel to Normandy in order to reinforce his Atlantic Wall. Rommel was convinced that in case of an invasion, the first 24 hours would be crucial. As he put it, the fate of the Germans depends on the outcome of the invasion, both for the Germans and for the Allies. It will be the longest day. Rommel did not only reinforce, improve and expand the existing concrete Atlantic Wall. He also added a Nordic Atlantic wall to the existing concrete Atlantic wall. To rip open landing crafts, he had 1,000,000 mine stakes and sloping posts constructed. In order to delay progress on the beaches, he introduced check hedgehogs, concrete tetrahedrons draped with barbed wire, anti-tank stakes, minefields, totally 5,000,000 mines, ditches and anti-tank walls, flanking casemates and observation bunkers. Rommel's superior, the Field Marshal von Rundstedt, the High Commander of the West, did not agree with Rommel's strategy. He felt that, in case of an invasion, the enemy should be attacked and destroyed inland by the superior German tank units, when the enemy's lines of reinforcement would be stretched thin. What was the strength on German side? Although the most experienced German forces were fighting in Russia and in Italy, German divisions in Normandy were formidable forces, as Rommel had mixed seasoned veterans from the East Front with new recruits from Germany. 38 infantry divisions were on duty on the coast, from Holland to Biarritz. 7 of them were located near the Pas-de-Calais, and 3 were stationed in Normandy. There were 4 panzer divisions in France, 1 under the command of Rommel, and 3 under the exclusive command of Hitler himself. For sure, the Germans did not expect an invasion during the first week of June on the beaches of Normandy. First of all, the Germans anticipated an invasion further up north, near the town of Calais. And secondly, the High Commander West thought that during the first week of June, bad weather would not allow an invasion. So on the 4th of June, all the planes of the 26th Squadron of the Luftwaffe were withdrawn from Lille Air Base to be stationed on bases in Germany. Joseph Priele, one of the best pilots of the Luftwaffe, stays behind with only 2 airplanes. On the same day, Field Marshal Rommel leaves his headquarters in Normandy in order to surprise his wife for her birthday. And many of the commanding officers had decided to leave the coast in order to participate in a Kriegsspiel, a war game, which was held on the 5th and 6th of June in Rennes, the capital of Brittany.